Dargonus and Kivagama. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be necessary next step. What would be consequences of losing contact with these worlds? B. A world deprived of connection to its neighboring systems and the Corona's expanse infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. The Voxmaster is entirely correct. You are rogue trader Oscar von Valencius, the successor of Theodora von Valencius, one of the most influential women this side of the maw. But you are also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your protectorate so they can snatch a piece for themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and foes that you are in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Faint smile appears on Kibala's lips. If the Fateless decide that your worlds are easy prey, that is good. We will find enough enemies in your domain then, and we will kill them. The Undying One will look upon us with approval, yet she still doesn't like killing anybody. The surface of Janus was altered extensively so the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base capable of supplying the burgoying protectorate and exporting provisions to the outer worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor house of Viat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. What is Kivagama? Industrial world Kivagama is being managed by the governor house of Gaprak and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I testify that Kivagama is a world marked by the Omniscience patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Heinrich coughs quietly. Mistress Tolliman neglected to mention that the Kivagama Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery, from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turned his hard eyes on Heinrichs. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Van Collax. Pleased to be of service. What do I need to know about Dargonus? Dargonus is the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are. And so is the Von Valencius Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dargonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. What is your opinion? Which world should we deal first? Abelard strokes his beard for a few seconds before giving a hesitant reply. Rediscovering the agri-world will supply your protectorate with something none of your servants can do without: sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at Footfall. It is currently pitiful slate. And I agree with Abelard. I will go to this place. On the other hand, I am concerned by the rumors concerning Kivagama. There have been no problem on Janus for many years. But something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. I trust I do not have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us the laughing stock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. So all three systems are equally vital to the Protectorate. It falls to you to decide which should be brought into the fold of before the rest, Lord Captain. Yeah, you helped me. Our course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instructions and are ready to depart Footfall immediately, should you so desire. So, yeah, I have to speak with few people. I have to speak with Argenta. She's the closest one.
Greetings!
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy, with her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks. She's reciting a prayer and looks at you. Only once she has spoken the final line. For you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist in Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, thank you.
I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Do they sped up? Argenta nods gratefully. Because I haven't done it, but I know what she has done. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature of the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flame of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers. But right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of time, for I live by the law of time. I carry thy world, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of time, and ruin to foes of time, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time, with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are all alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valencius's ship, and about the cultist we encountered on Fruitfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I will tell you my story and you will see why. Argenta pauses. I will start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus's mission. and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will, in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about the planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salis Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Does it belong to the Von Valensis dynasty? Please continue. The description of Salis Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago, when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I, myself named after the saint, came across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important that I must journey to the planet and find the ship, and so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salis Prime. Supposition from Reverend Hieronymus: surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times call it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. It's as if you wanted to keep your discovery all to yourself. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeeded at it or you don't. Irresponsible of you if you were the only one who realized what you were dealing with. Once the planet has been described to you, then this secret was yours and no one else's. Yeah, the second one is better. Argenta looks at you somewhat surprised. I thought that I had been called, that finding the ship was my destiny, my place in the world. Perhaps there is something to that. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to legends, the ship can conceal itself from naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales. And I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic's shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please, addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Sally's Prime. My whole unit perished, all those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Sally's Prime, the cultists attacking the ship and Kumrad's betrayal. What if there are all links in the same chain? What if they have long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valencia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way out the Von Valencia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? How did you manage to escape? Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader, Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch-enemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. You were wounded, so you never found Saint Argento's ship, is that right? And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists of Footfall. Argento smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them and take care of the children is a leader who inspires trust. And the way you act in the moment. Do you remember there was a young man whose grief and confusion has driven him to insolence? You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path to redemption. It was harsh but necessary. Like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, rogue trader, and I want to believe that I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. Oh, you were so mistaken. Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Sally's Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp has destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, oh my, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, rogue trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? Nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred object for the people of the Imperium. It is important to you, I will help. Invoked again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Corona's expanse. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, rogue trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Cool story. Cool story, bro. Okay. To whom I have to speak? Heinrichs. Where are you? Heinrichs looked at you intently, his head tilted. Nothing about her. Could you tell me a little about yourself?
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of those around me, not the reverse. I come from a night world, Guizorn 3. I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses until my exceptional abilities were discovered. After that, I was sent on a black ship to Holy Terra, where I was trained and I began my service for the glory of the Imperium.
Do you remember your home planet?
I do, but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn 3 when I was still a child. My family disowned me, stripping me of my family name. I was given a new one by those who trained me. Even for a noble, being branded a psyker is a mark of eternal shame. I experienced that firsthand before I was put on the black ship.
How did you discover your abilities?
Like many psykers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response. My great aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out.
Ow.
And when my great aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her too.
The story of the fact you're capable